How we doing, Patriot fans? Welcome in to Patriots Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show, we're going to look at 4 big-name free agents to watch that the New England Patriots could potentially sign before training camp gets here. We'll tell you who those 4 names are coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we do, folks, happy to report we passed up Texans Today and are now the fastest growing brand new channel here at Chat Sports. Awesome to see what you guys have done, Patriot fans. You guys have showed up and showed out to support this channel. We continue to grow. Now we are nearing 4,000 subscribers, just a little over 50 away from reaching that milestone. I think we can get there today. Why not? For the latest happenings on your favorite team, news and rumors, mailbags, and more. And as we continue to grow, we got more content on the way, some potential live shows and watch parties in the future as well. So go ahead and hop on the bandwagon now. Subscribe to the channel for free today. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. We'll get started with today's show. Our friends over at Patriots Wire who watch this show, they did a fantastic article breaking down 4 big-name players that the Patriots could sign. I want to show you what Patriots Wire had to say, and also we'll react to it and get your thoughts here on today's show. Let's begin with Leonard Fournette, who most recently played with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, won a Super Bowl alongside Tom Brady, and he kind of rejuvenized his career of some sorts. Remember, there was high expectations for Leonard Fournette when he was drafted out of LSU by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Ultimately, things didn't work out there. Goes to Tampa Bay, wins a Super Bowl, and really developed as a receiving back. He wasn't much of a receiver before he arrived. Tom Brady said, look, I need you to catch the football. And he learned, in addition to the runner that he already was, it was a good tenure for him there in Tampa Bay. What about bringing him to New England, Tom Brady's other former team? Well, here's more from Patriots Wire. The Patriots might still have a void to fill behind running back Ramondre Stevenson after releasing James Robinson. That's where a veteran sledgehammer like Leonard Fournette could come into play. Sure, Ty Montgomery should work wonders as a change of pace and receiving option coming out of the backfield, but things get a bit concerning when it comes to preserving the early down workhorse. Leonard Fournette last season, let's go by the numbers for you here. Last year, he had 189 carries, registered 668 rushing yards. And we talk about where he improved as a receiver: 73 catches, 523 yards, and 6 touchdowns there in Tampa Bay. And if he were to come to New England, watch out to see what he could do as a dual threat in that backfield. So I got 3 more names to get to, but here's your chance to be the GM here on Patriots Today. Name a player you think the Patriots should sign. That's our pinned comment today. You might get an ad break. If so, take advantage of it. Get your votes in. Tell me what you think. Who's a player the Patriots should sign before training camp begins? Give me one name in the comment section and let me know. Let's stay at the running back position and look at a totally different type of back. Ezekiel Elliott, who has been mentioned previously here on the channel. His name pops up again as another option for the New England Patriots. And Ezekiel Elliott, I know that he's not the same running back that he once was a couple years ago, but you can't deny that he can still be a good short yardage back and effective in the red zone in those circumstances. Still had over 10 touchdowns last season, despite his yards per carry being less than 4 yards a carry in 2022. More from Patriots Wire. He's only 27 years old with enough juice in his legs to chew up grass. Shout out Les Miles, especially as a secondary option. His receiving numbers dipped with the arrival of Tony Pollard in Dallas, but he has shown throughout his NFL run that he's versatile enough to be a viable pass catcher, along with fulfilling his duties as a bruiser on the ground. The numbers from Ezekiel Elliott, as we mentioned, his yards per carry is the lowest it's ever been this past year at less than 4 yards a carry, but still registered 12 touchdown runs. You're not asking him to be your bell cow. That would be Ramondre Stevenson's job. But Ezekiel Elliott is a potential second option on a cheap contract. CBS Sports earlier this week was talking about maybe around a 1-year, $5 million deal. It sounds intriguing, potentially, for that number 2 back. You need an answer with James Robinson gone. Who would you choose from between these two? Leonard Fournette or Ezekiel Elliott? Which guy would you rather have at this point in time? If it's Leonard Fournette, type L for Leonard Fournette. If it's Ezekiel Elliott, type E for Ezekiel Elliott. Let me know in the comments section which running back it is. L for Leonard Fournette, E for Ezekiel Elliott. All right, so when I look at this position of between these two, Leonard Fournette or Ezekiel Elliott, myself, I think I would lean towards Ezekiel Elliott personally with what he's done as a bruiser with the short yardage experience that we mentioned there and still being a pass catcher. Leonard Fournette, the inconsistencies. I don't know what Leonard Fournette you're getting in Tampa Bay. Ezekiel Elliott, personally, although we know he's not the same running back that he once was, but we do know that he can still be effective in short yardage. That's why I lean towards Ezekiel Elliott personally. But we know that New England needs to do something, at least on finding a second running back. We'll see what they do there. Moving to the defensive side of the ball now, that's where we find Marcus Peters. Talked about him earlier in the week here on the channel. And Marcus Peters is a guy who's been very successful, a three-time Pro Bowler. He was the Defensive Rookie of the Year his first season there in Kansas City. We've seen him in several different systems, whether it was in KC, the Rams, the Baltimore Ravens, and he's been a guy that I feel like you know what you're getting in a sense. Look, he is going to give up some big plays at times, but he's going to create turnovers as well. Granted, the big question mark is at his age, how much can he stay healthy and bring to the table? Remember, a couple seasons ago, he missed an entire year with an ACL injury. Last year, he came back, and it took him a while to catch up to speed, but he did have a decent finish to the season, creating 3 turnovers there for the Baltimore Ravens. Here's more from Patriots Wire on Marcus Peters here. There is some uncertainty for the Patriots in the defensive backfield, with second-year cornerback Jack Jones currently dealing with legal issues. If Jones ends up doing jail time, the team might have to consider other options at cornerback. There's also the option of going out and signing a veteran like Marcus Peters to the roster. The former All-Pro corner could fit nicely in a secondary role opposite of rookie first-round draft pick Christian Gonzalez, while Jonathan Jones continues to work predominantly in the slot. The numbers from Marcus Peters last year, we mentioned he created 3 total turnovers with a pick and 2 forced fumbles. Also had 6 pass breakups, 2 tackles for loss, and 47 tackles is what he was able to put together in 2022. The last name on our list is another guy we've talked about on this channel a whole lot over the last several weeks, and that is DeAndre Hopkins. Hopkins had a visit to New England last week, left without a contract, but for the most part, the reports that we've seen that have been out there over the last several days have been relatively positive, and the Patriots appear to still be the favorites to land DeAndre Hopkins at this point in time. We've said on this channel before, look, the Patriots have some decent receivers, but not a great receiver, not a guy that stands out. We've heard the rumblings that Belichick and Bill O'Brien and others want to upgrade that receiving core. Here is your opportunity to do so without having to give up draft capital. DeAndre Hopkins. Who is he similar to? Listen to this. Despite all of the promising signs of a potential signing, pen still hasn't been put to paper in an agreement between Hopkins and the Patriots that could obviously change as we get closer to training camp in late July. Hopkins could bring an element to the Patriots offense the team hasn't seen since Randy Moss. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say he's Randy Moss, but he still has something left in the tank as far as I'm concerned. Last year, missed the first 6 games due to a PED suspension and had a decent finish to the year with over 700 yards receiving in 9 games, 3 touchdowns. You go back to 2020 when he had over 1,400 yards receiving and 6 touchdowns, and in 2019 with close to 1,200 yards and 7 touchdowns. Don't think he's the player that he was in 2020 and 2019, but I like what I saw at the finish of last year. A deep threat, a guy that can be reliable, dependable for Mac Jones, and the familiarity with Bill O'Brien. I love the idea of DeAndre Hopkins. He's exactly what this Patriots offense is lacking right now. So, What's your confidence level that a deal gets done with DeAndre Hopkins, that he ends up in New England when it's all said and done? Scale it for me in the comment section, 1 through 10, what your confidence level is that the Patriots sign him. Hit me up on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The show continues there, talking about your Patriots, and I'll see you next time right here on Patriots Today.